Hi, I'm Nosakti. Right now, I want to introduce you to Exhia, an incredible generative AI that can do so many things. What's really impressive about it is its ability to execute commands in real time until the output is achieved. Whether it's interacting with qualitative or quantitative data, Exhia handles it all even with any type of data you have. Plus, you don't need to upload files to a server like other generative AI, which means your data privacy is much more secure. We'll start by asking Exia to list 20 cities from around the world. Once we have that, we will request it to add coordinates to each city since we'll be working with GIS environment. Awesome. Now that Exia has added coordinates for each city, the next step is to save everything into the shapefile format, which is common in the GIS work. But no worries, Exia can also save it in other formats, like GeoJSON for instance. Thanks to Exia drag and drop feature, we can easily drag one of the files and rename it as the output to speed things up. In this demo, we just drag any file and you just rename it to the desired output, making sure to update the file extension as needed. At this point, Exia might ask about your preferred projection reference, but if you don't have one, just let Exia take care of it for you. It's got your back. Once you've answered the projection reference question, just click and wait for Exia to process it. If it successfully creates the file, you can check the folder you designated earlier to see if it's there, and if you're unsure where Exia saved it, you can always ask where Exia stored the result. Next, let's open QGIS to check if the file was indeed created correctly. Let's arrange the window so everything is clear for the next steps I'm going to show you. Great! Now that the windows are nicely organized, let's check if the shapefile created earlier opens correctly. You just need to drag the shapefile into QGIS, and to verify each city's location, simply add the OpenStreetMap layer available in QGIS and see how it looks. It looks like all cities are perfectly positioned. To make sure everything is accurate, we can check the attributes within the shapefile. Alright, let's make this even more interesting by adding population data for each city. I've asked Exia to incorporate the population data for the year 2020 and merge it with the shapefile data of the 20 cities we created earlier. The new data should also be saved in the same format, which is shapefile. Additionally, I want the 2020 population data to be placed in a column named Pop 2020 for easy verification later. Let's see if Exia can pull this off. As you can see here, the population data has been generated just as expected with the 2020 population numbers for each city in a column named Pop 2020. Please take note, when you're asking generative AI for general knowledge or public data without any source, like the population of a city, prices, areas, and so forth, the AI often doesn't provide exact data, even though sometimes it's relatively close. It would be even better if you had your own precise data, perhaps in Excel or CSV format, which you could join according to the cities, and Exia can definitely help with that too. Now I'm going to raise the level of difficulty by asking Exia to create lines connecting the cities we've generated earlier. Now, the file with lines connecting the cities is ready. Imagine having to create those manually one by one. In this demo, I also want to share that Exia doesn't rely on any modules from QGIS at all. It operates independently, so even if you don't have the QGIS software, Exia can still work just fine. In this demo, QGIS is used solely for visualizing and verifying Exia work. You could also use other software like ArcGIS if you prefer. Okay, once more, let's elevate the complexity with an even more challenging task. I'll ask Exia to perform an analysis using the gravity model, leveraging the lines it created earlier. Of course, it's not limited to just the gravity model, as other calculations can be done as well. Keep in mind the formula used for the gravity model here is written freely, meaning you can do it by yourself, by using formal and simple language, and trust that Exia will comprehend what you're conveying with this capability. Alright, we've got the results. Let's check the data. It's impressive how Exia handles the analysis part and then verifies the previously created line files to integrate the requested analysis output within them. You might notice that I didn't specify any file names at all, such as telling Exia the city's file name, or the line files we created earlier. That's because Exia has an amazing memory feature that recalls every conversation detail in a single session. It's like having an assistant who is in the same direction as you, speeding up your workflow and making your work more effective and efficient. Plus, it enhances your ability to explore spatial data for informed decision making. One more thing. In this case, I want to change the gravity values in the gravity analysis file we worked on earlier to a logarithmic scale to make it easier to interpret just like before. All you have to do is ask her to process it and wait for it to complete the task. As I mentioned earlier, if you forget or are unsure where Exia saved the execution result files, just ask to her. She will let you know the full path URL where the files are stored, as simple as that. Okay, we've reached the end of the video. It's clear that Exia has executed all commands exceptionally well, quickly, and accurate. Could you imagine? How much time do you think you could save in your work? How much could you reduce production costs? And how much more work could you accomplish in the same amount of time? Yeah, at least now you know that even GIS professions can benefit from the advancements in generative AI technology like Exia. And you might think Exia focuses solely on GIS, but it goes beyond that. She can handle numerous data operation including statistical analysis, such as regression, correlation, spatial autocorrelation, or machine learning such as neural networks, and many others I haven't even explored yet. Thank you for listening to me over these last around 8 minutes. I hope this brief introduction to Exia broadens our understanding of AI developments. I hope you find it useful, and if you're interested in our project, feel free to contact us. Thank you, and see you in another video.